and roll.
Yeah, talking about rock and roll, I have so many different collections, from albums, CDs, cassette tapes, movies. In fact, eventually we're going to move to the Philippines, and somewhere along the lines, all this stuff that we have, we might have to find a way to either send or get rid of. I don't know what, is it going to be my best friend eBay or whatever? Anybody knows? Let me know. But talking about rock and roll, I used to collect Rolling Stone magazines. I've got so many going back to the 80s, and I'm just going to share with you some of the ones that I do have and see what you think. Bring back some memories. Alright, so here we go. Gonna look at this pile right here. Got some blasts from the past here. These have seen better days, but I used to be a photographer. Did you know that? Here's from a stepping show at Illinois State University. Okay, back to the music. Alright. Pearl Jam, Nirvana. Ooh, how about this classic one? Haha, Cheap Trick. From what year? 1979. Man, I wish I had some way to keep this in better shape, but I'm pretty proud of that. Oh, this one's seen better days too. Oh man. Rodney Dangerfield. 1980. Woo. Okay. Jimi Hendrix. Adele. The Verve. Bittersweet Symphony. Okay. And Stink. Janet Jackson. When was that? 1998, when this issue came out. Okay. Rage Against the Machine. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Taylor Swift. Alright. Monsters of Rock, including Limp Bizkit and Marilyn Manson. Metallica. Okay. Kirsten Dunst around Spider-Man time. Green Day. Ooh, here's another classic. Pat Benatar. From 1980. Man, that's awesome. Ooh, Janis Joplin. This is from a 1976 issue. I go back to 1976. Alright. Beastie Boys. The Party 2000. Oh man. Do you remember how many of you were alive when 2000 became a thing? We were in 1999. We didn't know what the future holds. And the future holds what we have now. So, alright. Greatest albums of the 90s. Oh, it's alright. No Doubt. Jimi Hendrix. Britney Spears. 500 greatest albums of all time. Oh, more pictures. Stuff show. Rock and roll in the quad. His name was Greg. Alright, oh, back to the music. Okay. Jennifer Lopez. Sinead O'Connor. Oh, here's a classic cover. E.T. from 1982. Man. I wonder if these are in good enough of a shape that they might be worth something. I seriously hope so. Led Zeppelin. Weezer. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Bob Dylan. Lou Reed. Died in 2013. Tupac. Died in 1996. Robin Williams. Smallville. Wow. Ooh, here's another classic. The Go-Go's. from 1982. Alright. Another classic. Just that. Okay. Rihanna. Shakira. When was this one? 2002. Okay. Ooh. A decade of the zeros. But now it's in the 20s. Oh, 20 years of Rolling Stone from 1967 to 1987. Wow. It's almost 60 years next year. Man. Ooh, how about this classic cover? The Beatles from 1976. I think that might be worth something. U2. Jerry Garcia. And Beatles again. Can you believe that? And that's only a few. That's like handpicked some of the ones that I saw that were some of my favorites. I have so much more that are just sitting in my house, and I don't know. I should do something with them. But what do you suggest? And talking about Rolling Stone magazine. Rolling Stone magazine started off in 1967, part of the Summer of Love, and I was 17 years old, well 16 going on 17 and 17. You know how age works and birthdays. In 1987, which was 20 years after 1967, I was in between my junior year and senior year of high school. I was starting to be more interested in the kind of music that I was listening to, you know, beyond what I saw in MTV videos and just buying records, you know, what was popular. I started caring about the critics and what was considered the best of the best. So Rolling Stone had, you know, album reviews where they give 4 or 5 stars. I was concerned about getting the best of the best, and that's where I started buying, like, whatever album that had 4 or 5 stars that was the highest up on the charts. I started to get that album and thinking I was listening to the best music versus music that might not be worth it. But this came out in 1987. See this here. August of 1987. So I guess it's like right as my senior year started. And the 100 best albums of the last 20 years. So basically like a celebration of what got Rolling Stone started. And this became my rock and roll Bible. Over the years, took me from 87 to probably 92 or something like that. By that time, I actually had collected all 100 of these. And I'm going to share as many of them as I can with you. Alright, so then after this is the only one of its kind up until 2003. And after that, they came out with, 26 years later, Rolling Stone updated their best of. Instead of just from the last 20 years, they went with the 500 greatest albums of all time. And they came out with one in 2003, 2012. They just redid it in 2020. And just recently updated that slightly at the end of 2023. Well, let's see what Rolling Stone from the very beginning said was the best of the best, and what happened to that list afterwards. Alright, let's start off with the album that was considered #1, the best album of, in 1987 of the last 20 years. What's the best from 67 to 87? There it is. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band from 1967, The Beatles. Of course, with the Rolling Stone magazine starting in 1967, Summer of Love. If you're celebrating their last 20 years, why not go with this one? Alright, so there we go. There's our #1. Alright, so Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Alright, I have the CD for it. This album right here has Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band with A Little Help from My Friends, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Getting Better, Fixing the Hole, She's Leaving Home, Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, Within You, Without You, When I'm 64, Lovely Rita, Meter Maid, Good Morning, Sgt. Pepper Lonely Heart Club Band Revised, and A Day in the Life. All those classic songs. And of course the classic album. But I also have the album. This may not have been an original copy of the album, but let's see what the album shows us. You open it up there. There's the picture of the four Beatles. In 1967, there's Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Back when they were tired of being the Beatles, still called themselves the Beatles, but the album was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. There's your back cover right there. And this one had Paul with his back turned to the camera, which led many people to believe in that whole Paul is dead theory. This particular album, back in 1987, #1 album of the last 20 years. In 2003, when they came out with their 500 album list, was listed #1. 2012, once again, #1 best album of all time. It wasn't until the year 2020, when we had gone past reminiscing on the Summer of Love and the origins of Rolling Stone, Sgt. Pepper took a step down. What used to be like the #10 album of all time, What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, became #1. And Sgt. Pepper went all the way down to 24, which is still pretty good, but it's, considering it was #1 for so long, that's a big leap down. Alright, so coming in at #2 in 1987, we had the Sex Pistols.